TPL Vision's e-bars have the capability to be operated in both a strobe function, where you strobe it in sync with the camera's image acquisition, or just to be run in continuous working. Both have their benefits. Strobe, some of the products in strobe mode actually have an overdrive function inside it. So like this modular e-bar has an embedded overdrive function. So when you strobe the light for less than 30 milliseconds, the product's actually driven 2.4 times brighter. Brightness is absolutely critical for your vision applications. The more brightness you have, the faster you can run the application, the more stability you have in the application from maybe some ambient light impacting the vision system, and the less motion blur you'll get if the parts are moving. So that's why brightness is critical. To strobe the light in overdrive mode, especially for this one, overdrive mode lasts for 30 milliseconds. Anything longer than that, it will default down to the continuous working brightness. So you want to make sure that their image acquisition is less than 30 milliseconds, which is quite a long time in the case of an image acquisition. To strobe the product, you would use your PNP or your NPN, which is your black and white respectively, and you would use that. You would either create the trigger signals on these lines, which is a 10 volt trigger signal. You would create that either through your camera or through your PLC or your vision controller. To create continuous working brightness, continuous working is actually more common on production lines, and it's mostly because it's not so disruptive to the people who are in that environment. Continuous working is less sort of impactful on your eyes, and in most cases the products are actually bright enough in continuous working to work for the application. So to work in continuous working with the product, you would either make sure that your 24 volt and ground are on, in all cases obviously, to actually turn on the product and power it, and then to actually turn on the light, you would either take your PNP up to your 24 volts, so you'd attach it to that line, or you would take your NPN and attach it to the ground. Lastly, the fifth wire, which hasn't been spoke about yet, is this grey line. That is actually your dimming, and you can control this through a potentiometer, or a variable resistor inside your electrical cabinet, or some cameras actually have the ability to apply the correct 0 to 10 volt along this line. At default, it's at 0 volts, which gives you 100% brightness on the product. When you apply a 10 volt signal to this line, you'll actually get 30% of the brightness on the product.